Hey everyone, it's Autumn. Today I wanted to film a makeup haul video. Okay, so many of you may be watching me for makeup, some may be watching for perfume, and then I think very few of you are actually watching me for the kind of like low-buy content that I had started putting up at the beginning of the year. We're over halfway through with the year. I was doing really great, and then I traveled and did Army for quite some time, and I ended up buying some things. And since I was like traveling and doing stuff and not uploading videos, I kind of stopped keeping track of how much money I was making through YouTube. If you're curious, I will have the video linked up here where I explain what money I can spend, but essentially I was allowed to spend whatever I made from YouTube, or if I like sold something on Mercari. Like that was kind of like my allowance for makeup, because obviously I had so much. So I don't know if this is technically breaking that low buy or not, but I do know that I have a lot of stuff here. So it probably is. I was gonna wait to film this until everything came in the mail, but I don't know what the deal is. It's just taking forever to get packages. So with that being said, I thought I would start off by just talking about what I bought and why I bought it. And then there were a few things that I wanted to do dedicated videos for, and both of those I'm waiting to come in the mail. So I'll just end up doing those dedicated videos once those come in the mail, but I will mention them here. So a couple of things also in the box that I want to do dedicated videos on. So I'll get those out of the way. And then I thought it might be a good idea. I'll go wash my face and then come back and we can use the rest of the products and kind of play around with them. So the first thing I want to talk about is this. This is from Lancome, and Lancome, Lisa Eldridge is kind of like still, I think she might be still creative director, even though she has her own brand. And they did this partnership with the Louvre, and I thought it was beautiful and I had to have it. Now, I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of it now that I have it. And I think I do want to do a full video. But look how beautiful the embossing is. And the formula looks beautiful also. I loved kind of like those baked gelée type formulas because I think that they just lay beautifully on the skin. So here you have a highlight. And then I don't know if you can tell, but this is a duochrome. I don't know how well you can tell. Sometimes using the mirror, let's peel this mirror off. And then you can see all the crap on my desk and in my closet in here. Okay, so hold on, how does this work? There we go. You can see the two colors there. And you can see all the stuff sitting out on my desk. So anyway, I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of this color. I've come to find that I am not someone who enjoys color or glitter in their makeup looks. That is very beautiful though, and maybe I might mix it in for a holiday look. The glitter in it though, it's so neat because it has the duochrome with like, it looked like a blue and a green, but I don't know if you can tell if I come up close. It's got green and purple glitters in it. So very interesting. All right, and then might as well swatch the other shades, even though I fully intend on doing a video on this. Let me, so we'll do the other three eyeshadow shades. And they're not, the depth is about the same in these. They're not very different other than tone. But for me, because I don't like wearing a lot on my eyes, that's kind of ideal. So very pretty. And then the highlighter, I was most excited for because I thought it would look obviously beautiful on the skin. And then there it is. So that's what I'm most excited for. This palette I believe is like $90. So it's a little bit pricey for Lancome, but the packaging is beautiful. It's a beautiful piece to have. So I was happy to get that. And then I did get a couple other palettes. So I ordered the Hourglass palette, which I will have the one I ordered here on the screen. I got the lightest shade one because it has the diffuse powder, which is one that I use on the regular basis, and had quite a few new shades in it as well. So I felt pretty good about getting that one. Although I have like 4 of those Hourglass larger palettes and like 3 of like the smaller trios. Very rarely do I reach for them because I keep forgetting that I have them. So I'm hoping, I am doing some decluttering again, and I am hoping that I'm gonna reach for those. I did keep all of those. So I did also pick up this Patrick Ta palette. I haven't used it yet. Again, I'm a neutral girl. And then very similar to this, and maybe I'll do a comparison video because this also has like 2 cream and then all these matte shades. And then I got the Danessa Myricks palette, which I'm waiting to come in the mail, that has the powders and like the cream pomades in it. And that palette you're supposed to be able to use like on your eyebrows, as eyeliner, on your eyes, like on your lips, like your whole face. You can use those shades of contour, things like that. So I don't know, maybe I'll do separate videos or a comparison video. But yeah. They're very similar palettes and I should have just chosen one, but I didn't. I got this blush palette from Polite Society, and I was just curious because the person who created Too Faced Cosmetics, I think his name's Jared Blandino, I might be making that up. He sold Too Faced to Estee Lauder and then created another brand. And it's this one called Polite Society, and this is called Go Flush Yourself. I have like fingerprints all over it. So it's called Go Flush Yourself, and on the inside, very sort of pretty peachy tones. You've got a highlighter and 3 blushes. And where am I gonna swatch this? Let's just swatch it on this palm here. So I don't know, I thought it looked pretty. If you want, I could do a review on that as well. I'm gonna get a little bit of my cellar water and paper towel and like wash off my hands. And then I don't know that I'm gonna be able to use it today, but I did get this. This is the MAC Studio Radiance Serum Powdered Foundation. I don't know why. I got it on a whim. I'm not sure why, but I think the shade is much too light for me. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It does feel a little bit thick. You know what? We will use this today. There's one more thing I want to mention. Dior, over the summer, redid their eyeshadow formula. I am absolutely in love with the Dior eyeshadow quints. I've loved them for years. I have a lot of them. The problem is, and let me see if I can find the new one. The problem is I am very disappointed with how they've redone them. The packaging is cheaper, definitely not as nice, and the powder is in the palette is completely different. Before they were formulated like these, they had like some, I don't know, they had like a higher like, I don't want to say fat, but they were just like creamier and they were beautiful and they blended like a dream. Now they're powdery, they're a little patchy. I did have, here it is. So I'll just show you the comparison here. So this is the new palette where to open it, you have to pull up on the CH there. And then here it is, you can see where I've kind of used it. The formula is just super powdery. I have the shade Amber Pearl. And I'm looking to see, yeah, it's still good for 6 months like the older ones were. I use the older ones though way longer. I heard the reason that they were doing that is because they were trying to go more natural with their formulas. But just opening up this one, I think this was like a collection from last year. The formula is just so much nicer, and it's like that beautiful kind of like sheer creamy formula that's just nice and light. Here, I'll do a couple. Like, they're beautiful. So I'm gonna swatch this new palette for you. And just looking at the swatches, again, this is a matte one. Maybe I should compare it to like some matte shades. You can kind of see they're just not as nice. I'm not saying that they're not nice shadows like compared to maybe some other things on the market. Yeah, they're kind of dusty. Yeah. I don't know. They didn't look good on the eye. And I'm just very disappointed. So that's another thing. I was like, do I want to continue to buy this Dior Quince? And if I don't, because I was buying them kind of as a collector because I love them so much, I might need to do a video where I go through and I just start decluttering them. All right, so I'm back. My face is cleared off. I do have a little like breakout right here of like perioral dermatitis right now. So if you're wondering like what's going on with my skin, that's what it is. I'm just sensitive. But I do want to start off by like spraying my skin a little bit to prep it, and I will use the MAC Fix Plus. And I need to put some skincare on. And the reason that I wanted to do the skincare a little bit on camera is because of these. I have used them a couple times. These are the new Be Goldy Bright drops from Drunk Elephant. I have the bronze drops, and I actually also have the blush drops, and I love those. So let's find a moisturizer to mix. You know what though? That serum foundation seems very, very hydrating. So I don't want to put on a lot of moisturizer right now. So I will go in and we will mix with some of this Glow Recipe Dew Drops. And I'll do 2 pumps of that. And then I'll do just a little squeeze of these drops right here. And if you hear my neighbors mowing, of course they are, because every time I sit down to film, they start mowing. And while I could just automatically assume it's all about me, I'm guessing that the days that I am available to film also happens to be the days where they are available to mow their lawn. And the weather is so gorgeous this week that I'm not closing the windows. Okay, so this looks super nice. It's not too glowy at all. And I do want to go in with a lip balm right now because my lips are dry. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this La Mer lip balm. I have it, so why not use it? And I'm going to use a beauty blender today for the foundation. I've never used the foundation on my face before. Oh my gosh, I keep like scratching the perioral dermatitis. Like it's around my nose right now and it's very irritating. All right, so I'm going to start off with a pump because when I swatched it a minute ago, it seemed like it kind of had quite a bit of coverage. And this might be a little bit light for me, so we'll end up bronzing it. But actually it's not too bad. If you're curious, the shade I got is NC12. And it seemed to be based off of like the swatches online and the descriptors of the shades. It seemed to be the best fit for my skin, that is light olive. And I don't really feel like I have to mix with this to get it, the tone to work for me, even though this does seem to be a little bit yellow to peachy, but it blends out really nicely with the beauty blender, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. And again, I haven't used this with a brush, but just based off of the way it swatched on my hand, I feel like I would be blending for a while, and I think the beauty blender is just kind of, in my opinion, the best way for this formula. Again, I haven't played with it. I'll play around more with it, and that opinion is subject to change. The one thing about using a beauty blender is it does absorb some of the product, so you are using more. But I have so much foundation and so much makeup that it's not really a huge deal. But if you're somebody on a budget, maybe putting a little bit on your fingers and warming it up that way would be better for you. If you're trying not to have all of your products sucked up into the sponge. You know, I think this looks pretty nice. It does feel a little bit tacky on the skin, but I also did use a serum before I put this on, so that could have something to do with it, although it feels tacky on my hand too, so. So I'm gonna use a little bit of corrector around my eyes. This is the Chanel. And I like to just kind of go right in there. That's where I get blue. And then also a little bit right here. And while that sits for a second, let's do eyebrows. My eyebrows have not been wanting to cooperate lately. And there for a while I was doing this whole thing where I did like a powder, a pencil, and a brow gel. And then now I'm back to just using a pencil, and this is the Beauty Pie Super Brow Angled Shaping Pencil. And I don't know that they still make this. I think they do though. I hope they do, because right now this is the only thing that makes doing my brows easy if I'm kind of in a hurry. Then I'm gonna blend out that concealer that I put there, or that corrector, I guess. The thing is, it does have like corrector in it, which it is marketed as a corrector, but it's close enough also to my skin tone that typically I don't feel like I need to go over with like another concealer. And then that way I can keep my makeup somewhat light. Okay, so I did get those Merit eyeshadows. I got 3 shades, which if you know me, you're gonna know that I went for the most neutral and the lightest shades that they had. The first one I got is Studio. I'm just gonna go ahead and say though, I hate the packaging. I feel like they missed the mark. I wish they would have made like eyeshadow pencils. This packaging is a nightmare to open, and it's also a nightmare to close. So here we are, because there's like, there we go. All right, so got that one open. Leans a little bit pink. It's like a pinky taupe. So this is Studio. I do like the formula. It's a nice thin formula. Oh, it is pink. Almost everything pulls pink or orange on me. So I do want to point that out. Typically I like more subdued kind of like, I don't want to say like pukey colors, but like pukey colors. This is a little bit more pukey, and then this is Vachetta, and it has a nice yellow undertone. The last one is the shade Mid-Century. And this one I find leans like almost like a terracotta orangey red. It's like, but it's a brown, but it kind of has that terracotta undertone. So those are the 3 shades. So Studio, Vachetta, Mid-Century. And then I did get one other eyeshadow product, and I haven't tested it on my eyes. I have tested the Merit. They blend beautifully, but you have to blend quickly. And let me make sure these caps are on, because again, the way they fasten down and they screw and unscrew, it's very hard to get them to catch and to close. I got this. It's the Chanel Ombre Premier Libre. It's their loose eyeshadow. And it comes like this. And I have the shade 402, and it just comes out like that. So we'll just swatch it. Again, it's a loose shadow, so again, it's kind of, I don't know how that's gonna work because I put it on my hand and then there was like some fallout, but that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go in with Vachetta on the base, and then I'm gonna go over with that Chanel shadow. So I'm just gonna use my finger here and go over, and I'm gonna do one at a time because these kind of set in, I would say somewhat quickly since it's a thinner formula. And then I'm just gonna use a clean finger, at least one I hope is clean after those swatches, and kind of blend up and out. That's so pretty. And the kind of like golden undertone of the shade really pulls at the tones in my eye. And it's really flattering. The other 2 shades aren't as flattering. If I had to go back and just buy one shade, it would be this one. And then I'm gonna take, we'll go on my little pinky finger here. and I'm just gonna rub it along the lash line. They do have a brush, actually. I did buy the brush. So the brush has like this kind of like end on it, which I think would be great for liner. The problem with that is I don't really line my eyes a whole lot. And so if I try to use it on the bottom part, it just feels a little bit pokey. So I don't love that. I think my neighbor's sitting in his driveway blasting music. I can hear it. Can you guys hear it? I'm not as coordinated with my left hand, obviously. And I feel like I always have like a much messier eye on this side when I try to do it that way. Yeah, this shade I feel like though, even though the packaging is a pain in the ass. Hold on, there we go. I feel like that's gonna go in my everyday makeup bag just because the shade is so flattering and it just kind of shifts the tone. It's like not much darker than my skin and it shifts the tone and it's flattering. It's gonna go in there. I'm gonna go over now with this loose shadow and I'm just gonna pat it on. And then go in with this blender brush and blend it in on the lid. And if you like, look at my fingers just from, there you go. I'm getting powder everywhere. So I don't know that this is the best mechanism for, I don't know if I'm getting any fallout in the lower lash line. If you guys have this and you know of a better way to apply it, let me know. I am gonna use that little tip though and run along the lower lash line. And then I'll go in, I need like a clean, small clean brush. Okay. So I need to find a bronzer and I'm gonna try to go super light with it. I'm gonna use this Victoria Beckham. This is the bronzer brush I've been loving. This is from Zoeva. It's the Luxe Powder Buffer. It's like 88. And I like that it has that kind of angle to it. Because even though it's a large brush, if I want to, I can just go in on the angled side to sculpt it a little bit more and then turn to the larger side and blend. So just gonna go around the edges and then down my neck. I'm gonna go back in with my eyebrow brush because I just brushed my brow down and try to get this part to come back up. So for blush, I have tried this a few times. This is the Givenchy Prism Libre blush. They have multiple shades in this. I got the shade, I don't know, it's coral. And it comes with like a little powder puff that holds everything in. My thing is though, when you try to get it like on the powder puff, then you have the little G's. And so if you're like stamping it, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little pattern there. So I'm gonna try to get some into the lid. And then I'm gonna move it around and stamp it on this puff. And then try to pat it in that way. So this blush is so pretty without being shimmery, because I don't believe there's any shimmer in it. It has like a lit from within kind of glow. That is so pretty. And it just makes me want other shades of this. I mean, I'm not gonna, but it's so pretty. And it just lets me know that maybe I was just good and I chose the right shade the first time. And that I don't maybe necessarily need multiple shades of it, but it is very tempting. And if I ever see them in store, I may swatch, or if I can find some good swatches online. I couldn't find swatches online, and a lot of the times now when I'm looking for swatches, people are making different content. They're making short form content to try to sell you product on TikTok or even on here. Nobody is doing swatches. A long time ago, I used to be able to go shopping, and if I saw something, especially like at TJ Maxx when you can't open it, so that I could determine whether or not I wanted it, I would be able to Google it, and then there would be like hundreds of swatches from different people in different lighting that I could look at that would help me determine if I wanted it or not. Most swatches online now are made by the company, and like they go through Photoshop and things like that, and it's never what it looks like when you get it. It's completely different, and you're just like gambling every time. So I don't know, maybe I should be the one to bring back swatches on like blogs or something. Because I feel like it's missed. And that's people on TikTok, that's not what they're doing. They're not trying to do swatches for you. They're just trying to quickly swipe something on their face and tell you that it's wonderful, so you go out and buy it. In my rant though. I am gonna go over that though. I need like just a little bit of a highlighter. And what I've been using a lot over the last several days has been one that I got from Chanel. I think it was like last year around the holiday season. It's been this one. And I use very little of it. It's called Metal Peach. I have to be very careful with it. I kind of stamp my brush in, because I don't want like that stripe. And then I work in tiny circles instead of like just striping it on. And it's so pretty. It like melts into the skin. I almost like got rid of this because I didn't think it looked that natural on the skin, and it was the way I was applying it. Look how pretty. Okay, I did get a lip product, and it is from Gucci, and it's the lipstick in Call It a Day. Again, with the swatches online though, I opened it up and I was like, huh, that's not what I thought it was gonna be. But let's go ahead and put on the lipstick, and then we'll apply some mascara. This is a little bit more berry mauve than it looked online. It is a sheer formula though. Look how beautiful the packaging is though. That is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna go in now with a lip liner to try to bring this around where I want it. Let's try Stone from MAC. It's like a very kind of like taupey gray color. This could be a mistake. I was looking for Oak, but I forgot. It's in my everyday makeup bag. And then the mascara I've been using is from YSL. And what is this? Is it just the Mascara Volume Effect Faux Cils? Okay, so my neighbor's dogs are going crazy. Sorry if you hear that, but this is the completed look. I actually love the way everything looks. We'll just see how the foundation wears. I didn't add any powder or anything to it, but this is like a beautiful everyday look. I love the way everything just melds in together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for these products, I will have them all linked below. Just know that those links below are affiliate links, and I do get a little bit of commission from those links. I don't have any, like, these companies don't know who I am. These are just links that I can make to anything on my own, and those links help to support my channel. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.
All alone on the internet, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, what you didn't call for.